Welcome to the KickBack FC. Thank you for joining us once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Welcome back to the Kickback FC, your go-to spot for unfiltered real talk, all things soccer. Here we've got it all. We're breaking down the biggest moments, the hottest takes, and everything that you need to stay plugged into the world's game. We'll even tap into some other sports from time to time because if it's big in sports, we've got some thoughts on it. Whether this is your first time tuning in or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, I just want to say thank you to all our friends and supporters. Once again, my name is Cornelius. I'm joined with my boys and fellow co-hosts. Poppy, week two, man. Welcome back. How you feeling?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me again. Let's do it.
Good, good. Salam, how about you? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. Seahawks clinched the playoffs this week. Shout out to them. How about you, Mike?
I'm feeling good, man. Can't complain. Can't complain. It could have been worse. It could have been bad weekend, but my captain saved us, so I'm feeling good.
Hmm.
How about you, Cornelius?
It's a good week, man. Things are kind of like slowing down as the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
holiday season coming up. Everyone's kind of, in that type of mode, but it's good. We have AFCON for the first time over Christmas, so this is a special one, and we got sports. We got Boxing Day match coming up. We got a lot of stuff that's gonna keep us through the winter. I actually wanted to start with the AFCON. Obviously, we talked about it last week. Match one was today in Morocco versus Comoros. And right before we actually started recording, we were kind of talking about the presentation. I wasn't actually able to see, the presentation, but I did, see some clips. I did watch the full match, which we're about to talk about here in a second. But for I know Poppy, you're able to see the opening presentation. Kind of just talk about that, the presentation, and you were saying this is already one of your favorite AFCONs, just based on how Morocco is presenting everything. Kind of just fill us in on day one, your initial thoughts right before even the match started.
Yeah, man. It's really a joy to be able to see you know African football starting to get to a certain level right now. Morocco is being currently an example to follow for all countries, for all African countries in terms of hosting. I mean the everything is on point right now when it comes to stadiums, when it comes to hotels, when it comes to infrastructure. Even the press from every country is really impressed about how they're being hosted, how they're being put in perfect conditions to work. Uh, the ceremony today was amazing, really, really great performances from the actors and from the artists. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight to see. And yeah, the stadiums are impeccable. The pitches are really, really well conditioned. It's I would I mean it's already day one, but I don't recall. I mean, I've been watching football for a long time now, and out of all the AFCONs I've been seeing, I don't recall any AFCON that has, such a great level of hosting in terms of what Morocco is doing right now. So, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think for me, like you said earlier, it's just the presentation of even the game. The way the stadium looks makes it look like a better product on TV. It looks like we're playing in Europe, but no, this is Africa. This is in Morocco. They've set
Exactly.
the standard, and now we have to see other countries follow. Now that you've raised this bar, you can't lower it. We can't go into the next upcoming AFCON tournaments into countries where their infrastructure just doesn't live up to the level. So I don't know. We want to take it to all these countries. I get it, but what Morocco is showing me just in the first game, just watching it on TV, it looks good. Like just
Looks
just
great.
that, So I don't know. Moving forward, I feel like they've definitely set the bar. So we have to keep the standard from here on out.
No, I agree. I
Totally.
mean, they've invested a lot of money in their infrastructure at the youth levels, on the women's side, on the men's side, and it's showing. And like you said, it's nice to be able to watch a product like this. When you look at the stadium, it's full, it's buzzing. Obviously, yeah, it was the host nation, but um, Yeah, the other countries, like, in the nation, the other countries have to follow suit.
Mhm.
And they have customized even like for the rooms, the hotel rooms, they have customized rooms for each player. I don't know if they did it for
Wow.
all the countries, but for Senegal, like for each player, it like the door you have a picture of yourself, and then when you get in, like everything is decorated with the players, club and like pictures and whatever. It's really nice.
That's dope.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I agree with everything y'all said, and that kind of leads me to the next topic. We talked about raising the standard. The Athletic just reported that AFCON, is often a tournament of surprises, but perhaps the biggest one has come before the tournament has even started. This is a tweet from the Athletic. They said the at a press conference, the CAF, that is, the African governing body of football, President Patrice Motsepe announced that after 2028, future AFCONs will be held once every 4 years rather than once every 2 years. This will
Wow.
be aligning with the FIFA calendar and, in theory, reducing a club versus country disputes. And then they pose a question: is this change actually good for African football? So I kind of want to just start there before we get into this first game of Morocco versus Comoros, and kind of just open it up to discussion on, do we think that this is something that they're using it to say that this will reduce injury and reduce the amount of games. But last week we were talking about club teams not wanting to let their players, one, leave for the tournament if they qualified, and two, those players that did qualify and have to leave, they were keeping them to the last minute. So do we think this is something that'll help quell that little kind of just infighting between club and country right now? Or how do y'all feel about once every 4 years instead of once every two?
I I think it's a really bad decision, man. I think it's a terrible decision, honestly. There is one pro. There's only one pro that I see about this is that it makes the tournament more special because what's rare is special. So every 4 years is like, you know, more special to win it. But other than that, there's a lot of cons, man. And this is the reason why this is bad and this is sad is that this is basically the CAF giving into the pressure of European clubs, and of FIFA. And like, how many times is this going to happen? They first tried multiple things. They first moved the AFCON to the summer. They did that in 2019 because the clubs were complaining, about doing it in December, January. And I don't know if y'all realize this, but since 2012, we don't even know when and where the AFCON takes place. Like everything gets changed every time. Like the only AFCON since 2012 that was that where everything happened, on schedule was the 2015 one with Gabon and Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. Other than that one, you know, every time like Libya was supposed to organize it, but it didn't end up happening. Morocco was supposed to host it years ago, it didn't end up happening. They keep changing the dates. Just this one right now, it was first supposed to be in December, and then they changed it to late December, early January. And like to me, it's just sad that they're trying to do the same concept as Europe because it's not necessary. You know, an AFCON every 4 years, it not only you know, kills the development of most federations because the AFCON is the principal source of funding for African football, but it's also the principal source of revenue for most of these federations. You know, that's why it was good to have it every 2 years. Now you're gonna do it every 4 years, which is gonna kill that. Um, it's gonna be harder for a lot of teams to play. Now, sure, they announced that there's going to be a Nations League, just like in Europe, which means that, I guess, yeah, a Nations League is going to help smaller teams develop. A Nations League is going to make sure that, we have big teams playing each other because in a Nations League, if it's going to happen the same way as Europe, you're going to see more often, games like Senegal versus Morocco or Cote d'Ivoire versus Nigeria, etc., because it's going to be ranked as such, like all the top leagues will be in the same league. But other than that, to me, it's just pointless because we are already trying hard to make the world care enough about the AFCON, and now you're bringing a Nations League. And even in Europe, like a lot of people don't even care about the Nations League. Like a lot of people don't even consider it as a real trophy, even though it is. But like I'm saying, Portugal won it recently, but a lot of people only care about the Euro itself. So you're in a verge of trying to make sure that the AFCON gets more recognized and more, popular and more respected. And you're almost there, and now you're trying to do this. To me, it's just sad, man. And it's again, you know, succumbing and giving into the pressure of the clubs and of FIFA, and it keeps happening. And it just shows that, the leaders of African football either are incompetent or they just don't make themselves respected enough. That's the way I see it. But I mean, hey, I hope they prove me wrong, but that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's definitely them bending to these European teams. I mean, I think I agree with everything that you said, Papi. Obviously, it's an inconvenience for a lot of these clubs because it's in the middle of the season, but that's just it is what it is. I mean, you try playing a tournament in Africa in the summer. I mean, like,
Telling you, man.
Yeah.
um, no, but go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that in the last couple of years, we've seen AFCON grow a little bit in other parts of the world. I mean, people are actually following AFCON these days. This tournament used to not matter at all around the world, but now I feel like there's some traction and pushing it to every 4 years. I don't know, man, but like you said, the only good thing that comes out of this tournament will mean a lot more now. Not that it doesn't right now, but like just like the World Cup, we look forward to it, the anticipation, and maybe this gives host countries times to actually put together stadiums and the facilities needed to actually host this tournament. Maybe that's the other positive, but other than that, I'm just like I don't know.
Mike,
Here
and
we
I
are again, Europe taking taking precedent over what we're doing in our on our continent. But I personally don't like it, but we'll see what happens.
yeah,
You
I
know, I
was
was
gonna.
thinking about that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Corey.
go ahead, go ahead.
No, because I was gonna say, I was thinking about that as a pro as well. The fact that it gives time for other countries to prepare to host it. But then again, I thought about it deeply, and I said no, because if you're gonna host, you're supposed to know it years before. And like, you don't like the host. For example, right now we know who's gonna host the World Cup in the
Hmm.
next 8 years. Like, we already know it.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, they're telling us starting from 2028, is going to be every 4 years, right? Because there's going to be an AFCON in 2028. We're
Okay.
in 2026, pretty much, and there is no candidacy for the 2028 AFCON. We don't know who's going to
That's the
host
Yeah.
it.
issue.
Yeah.
That's the main
It's in
issue.
2 years. We don't know who's going
Yeah.
to host it. Like, we don't even know what countries want to host it. So, like, we don't even know if it's gonna happen, actually, because there's
That's the
one in
thing.
2027 too. Like, there's one in 2027, and then there's supposed to be one in 2028, right? And that's in 2 years, and you don't even know who's gonna host it. You don't even know the candidates is, and like, how are you going to be able to make that happen? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It tells you, man. It
Yeah,
tells you.
yeah. Just to close that before we get into the actual game itself, Mike, that was the one thing I was thinking about. Maybe it'll give countries more time to prepare to host, but like Poppy said, there's incompetence within the CAF. There's unorganization. Clearly,
Yeah.
we need and that would be my first thing. We need the CAF to figure it out. Just as a federation of football. If you want to be held with the Europeans as far as a level of standard, you have to get organized. And so I feel like that's something that we have to, hope to see happen in the future, because my only con of this is, we looked forward to the AFCON being every 2 years, because I feel like every 2 years you see a new a new talent, a new spring of crop. You start to look at these countries like, oh shoot, like okay, I didn't know Burkina Faso had these players. Okay, let's look out for them. Oh, okay, Adingra is from where? Oh, okay, he plays in the Prem. And so I feel like we see a lot of players get their start in this AFCON, and for me, it's gonna be, geez, now we have to wait every four instead of I'm used to seeing it every two. So it's just something that I got to get used to. But I feel like there are pros and cons. It can go either way, but ultimately we need the CAF to kind of just be a little bit more organized because it seems like these announcements aren't really fully thought out, and I hope that this is a decision that's fully thought out and that by 2028 there is some sort of organization, but I just don't see it yet. So they're going to have to show me that this is a plan that they've had that makes sense because they actually have something in place moving forward. Right now it just sounds like, I mean, this came right out of nowhere. Right before AFCON, you're telling me that there's going to be no, now it's every four. Like, why didn't you do this?
That's a very, very good
You
point.
feel me? It's just like it came out of
Mhm.
nowhere for me. The day before the tournament starts, you kind of just
What
throw
a
this
what a timing.
curveball. It's like,
It,
all right,
it might not even happen with these guys. So it might just
Yeah,
be,
yeah,
another.
because if there's another president, it might not even happen. If there's another president,
Mhm.
like this is a decision that comes from the president. Another president can come in and change it. And to your point, Corn, like I don't know if they realize this, but this also reduces the chances of players participating in an AFCON. Every four, like injuries, like everything, like every 4 years is a lot, bro. Like now there's gonna be a lot of players who might only participate in one or two AFCONs in their whole career because it's every 4 years. You know, when it was every 2 years, like if a team messes up, like for Senegal, for example, last time they went out in round 16, you can always tell yourself, all right, in 2 years we're gonna try it again. But now you're gonna have 4 years, to come back. And for these teams, the smaller teams that only wait for that to develop and contribute to their game. Now they're also gonna have to, you know, get into a more difficult stage into doing that. And I
Yeah.
still don't understand the point of establishing a nations league. Like, that still doesn't make sense to me, bro.
Yeah, it hasn't been a big hit in Europe. I don't know if
It's
it'll be a
not.
big hit in Africa. But the point you just made, I really like that. It reduces the chances of players actually participating.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
yeah, man. But we did have two participants today. Morocco played Comoros, the host nation. Started off their campaign with a 2-0 win, man. It was crazy because it was raining a little bit to start the match. It kind of rained throughout the whole match, but it was a little bit heavier in the first half, and then it kind of got, that light drizzle in the second half. But man, it was just dope to see the sea of red fans in Morocco. Everybody
Yeah.
just out there jumping. It was loud. Like it was just really fun to watch. Morocco started a little bit slower than I thought. Comoros played a low block. Clearly, they didn't have the talent to compete with
Mhm.
Morocco, but I feel like there were some nerves. There was a little bit of that. Okay, like Poppy said, the host nation does have that little edge,
Yeah,
and
it's
usually
absolutely.
they're expected to at least go far, if not win the whole thing. So I feel like, that first half they were kind of feeling a little bit of the weight of the badge. Second half they got it together. Brahim Diaz, great goal, just class. And then man, the bicycle kick, my man, my man, my man. Just have a bow. It's Poppy said goal of the tournament already. It's early, but I think this was a big statement win for Morocco, and it goes to show, even like I think they brushed off the nerves in that first half, and then that second half really got them started in a good way. So they will be dangerous this tournament. Again, it was against Comoros, who, with all due respect, is a smaller nation, smaller team as far as talent when you look at the clubs that are played on Morocco, but Morocco looked all right. Morocco looked all right. For their first match, definitely a team to watch. I don't know how y'all thought about it.
Yeah, man. Comoros actually surprised me a little. I felt like they gave Morocco something to, worry about. Even though it wasn't, the attack wasn't consistent. But overall, great game. Morocco has a lot of talent, a lot of talent. That I think the World Cup. Hey, don't count them out. We saw what they did the last World Cup, the last time around. I think they still got some juice to possibly do something similar. Um, but overall, I thought it was a great game. Comoros' keeper, man, shout out to him. Some big saves during the
Massive
game.
saves.
You know,
PK, man, he saved one.
yeah. So overall, I thought it was a great game. I did not expect Comoros to actually show us something, but I think they did. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Morocco looked really good. They got a good blend, man, of experience. Guys that have played in this tournament, and some young guys and younger guys that are ready off the bench as well too. They had a good
Yeah.
showing at the what was it U17 World Cup, so or the World Cup that just happened with the younger kids. So yeah, they're in a good spot, man. But yeah, El Kabi, yeah, bro, you just gotta give it to him. I just want you to take a second of just he set it up too, and he played it back to bruh, and then bruh chipped it up for him. It was such a well executed bicycle kick, man.
Hmm.
And for the whole, and that's what when we were talking about earlier about like the presentation, the product. It's like, wow, that's like one of the first. Was that the first? That was the second goal of the tournament, the host
yeah,
nation.
second goal.
And like a goal like that, that's a statement. I love moments like that. So shout out to Kabi, man. Definitely, I don't think we'll see a goal better than that in the tournament.
It's AFCON. Expect the unexpected.
I mean, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
probably see a 50-yard screamer though from someone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah,
definitely coming.
yeah,
yeah. No, it's definitely going to be a lot of a lot more nice goals, but there's always something about a bicycle kick that's like
Yeah, man.
special. Like I that's
Because you
why I said
have to
goal of the
get it
tournament.
on the first
Yeah,
try.
right.
he hit
And
it clean too.
Yeah, I
He hit
know.
it
Like
yeah, and
clean.
it was
it,
exactly it was
it didn't,
clean. Like
yeah, it didn't hit off his shin guard. It didn't hit
No.
off his whatever. It was his laces. He caught it.
right. Didn't even touch the ground, just straight in,
Mhm.
and yeah.
It went from his foot to the
To the
dude to the
net.
goal. Like it
Right, like
did not.
it
Yeah,
was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. But regarding Morocco's performance, I mean I wouldn't I'll kind of disagree with Kron. I wouldn't say it was a statement win. I would say they handled their business, host country, top one ranked nation in Africa, playing against uh with all due respect, a weaker, much weaker team. You're supposed to handle business, and that's what they did. They handled business. They want to know, got 3 points. That's what's important the most. But I've seen maybe a hot take, but I've seen them. I've seen a couple of weaknesses that I didn't expect from Morocco today. The first 15 minutes, it was a little hard for them. They got a penalty that wasn't really a penalty, but they missed it. I guess ball don't lie, right? And then
Facts.
like 2 minutes after that, Saiz, which is the captain of the team, got injured, and went out, and you could feel the doubt in Morocco's game. You could feel that they weren't, as confident as they looked, and also you could feel that they were playing with the pressure of being the host nation and of being the team that's supposed to dominate everyone. So first half, they looked, kind of below, you know, the level they're supposed to play in. And then second half, when that first goal went in, then they started, playing free, and then they started, showing their game a little more. Was able to score that second goal, beautiful bicycle kick as well. But for a team like Comoros to be able to play the way they played today, be able to even have a couple chances there, I didn't expect that to happen. I expected total domination from Morocco today, and I didn't see that. And it might have worked against Comoros, but against more serious opponents, AFCON is cruel, man. You can't have any moment of doubt. So they won the game. They got a 3 points, but I feel like there's still a lot more work to do for them in the upcoming games.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a very good point. They
Yep.
they did look a little shaky against a weaker opponent,
Yeah.
but like you said, professional win, get the 3 points, we move.
Yeah.
Now you've gotten the the first game nerves out of the way. Host nation, you've gotten that out of the way. I think from here on out they should handle business. I mean, they're the favorites in my opinion. So
Yeah, I
Comoros
mean, and
though,
it happens. It happens to everyone, and
yeah.
in fact, usually like the winners of AFCONs usually have shaky starts. Usually,
Hmm.
that's how it goes. So
Hmm.
maybe it's a good thing for them.
Yeah.
yeah, Cote d'Ivoire had to
Yep.
fire their.
Cote d'Ivoire shaky. Like
Yeah.
Senegal had a shaky start too in
Hmm.
2022, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All in all, though, I think I think both of you guys are right in regards to they got the job done. I think that there was some bright spots though. I thought Brahim Diaz, he was one of the players that I was really looking forward to watching this tournament. I think that he's firmly established himself as like one of the go-to guys on that team, and he's a relatively young guy as well too. So I was happy to see that. But yeah, and Hakimi hasn't even played as yet as well too. So there's still gears that this team can hit as well too. So, um, but yeah, I mean, shout out to Comoros, but Morocco had to get
yeah,
the
and in fairness to them too, Regragui, the head coach, you could tell that he was trying out some new things today. Uh, not all their best players started today, so maybe he's saving up some players for more important games as well. So that could be a reason.
Yeah, that's again a good start for Morocco as the host nation on match week 1 or match day 1. Tomorrow, just before we hop over to the Premier League, some AFCON predictions. So first game is Mali versus Zambia. Who do y'all got?
Mm, I'm gonna go
I
Mali. Shout out to Zambia, but um, yeah, I like this Mali team. I think that they've had good showings in the past. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna side with them.
I'll say it's gonna be a draw.
Mm.
Tie. Yeah.
This one is difficult to predict. I'm gonna go Mali. I'll go. I was gonna go Zambia just for the just for the pod, just for the. But I'm gonna go with Mali.
Make it.
Nah.
Second match is South Africa versus Angola. Who y'all got?
Now
Ooh,
that's fire.
that's a good one. Both teams
South
match up pretty
Africa.
well.
I got South Africa, man. Like I
It's,
said, they're my dark horse.
Hmm.
They're really they play really well, man.
I like what the coach said
Last
too. The coach was just like, I don't know why you guys keep talking about us. The favorites are over there. You guys, I mean,
he is coach is a dog.
I mean, in their own respects, though, like you could consider them like definitely like
Yeah.
dark horse for the tournament.
Again, last AFCON they were third place,
Yeah,
and it was by a hair that they didn't make it to the final.
Uh,
And they made it to the World Cup. They qualified for the World Cup as
okay.
well. They're
Yeah.
on a really good dynamic right now. I have them as my dark horse. I think they're gonna win the group, and I think they'll win tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. I like
Yeah,
what the
I'm
coach.
definitely going with South Africa too.
Yeah. All right.
The momentum
Solid.
is on their side right now.
Angola is nice though, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I wanted to say. When we're talking about the match itself, AFCON is a momentum based tournament. You guys were talking about it. A lot of the winners in the past have had slow starts. If you can get a win to end your group and get out of your group, you really, really have that momentum going into the knockout round. So that's huge. So
Yeah.
if a team like South Africa can catch fire quick, they could be super dangerous. And then the last match tomorrow, Egypt versus Zimbabwe.
Mm.
We all got.
Egypt.
Shout out to Zimbabwe, man. My Zimbabwe brothers. Anyesu, what's good, bro? But yeah, this is Egypt written all over it, man. I think
Egypt. Yeah.
good bet for going through. Mohamed Salah, man.
Mohamed Salah, Omar Marmoush. Which one do you want? I'm going Egypt, man.
However, we know Salah is uh Egypt's best player. But I hope they don't make the mistake that Ghana made, which was to still run their like all their players on IU, who's old,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's a
like
difference.
Salah.
It's a difference.
It's different, but I'm saying
IU
like
is not
Salah.
Salah.
I'm not. What I'm trying to say is like in Africa, there's this thing that no matter how old the best player is, the teams
It
always
has to.
think
Yep.
he it
Mhm.
has to go through him. He has to save us. And Salah is not on a great form right now. So Egypt, the other guys in Egypt, they will have to step up. They can't rely on him. Like
Hey,
if they do, it's
Salam's
gonna.
boy. I'm watching him closely. The world
Yeah,
class
Omar,
player, Omar.
Omar,
he will be.
Omar.
No doubt. No, in all seriousness, he's another player that I'm looking at. That he's gonna no, and I do believe. Hold on. I do believe that he's gonna have a good tournament.
Okay.
But I think right now
He
is
should.
a very good opportunity for him because of Salah's like really
Yeah.
not in the best form right now. You can kind of buy him some time, to kind of hit the ground running, and you can. I mean, he hasn't really been playing really as well. He just came back from injury, so. But
Yeah.
no, I think he's gonna have a good tournament as well.
This should be his coming out party, in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
we've now heard of you now. Like let us remember you now.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think they lost in the last. They lost in the last AFCON final, right? The Senegal. Okay.
Last time they were in the final, yeah, they did lose to Senegal in
Yep.
in
Yep.
penalty kicks. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, it wasn't that long ago since Egypt was in the final, so that they, more or less.
they even were in a final again against Cameroon in 2017.
Oh, okay.
So
So
they
more or
made
less.
they made the final in 2017 and also 2022. Yeah. So
Yeah. Marmouche and yeah.
Yeah, we're watching.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's good. AFCON is just started, and there are going to be some more fire matches coming down for sure. Like we said, just in our predictions for tomorrow, any of those games can go any way. Again, it is AFCON; anything can happen. But going across, not even across the pond, up to the north, up to Europe, we are back in the Premier League, and as tradition goes, losers go first. But before we get into Manchester United, I do want to talk about Leeds for a sec because
Mm.
Leeds was on the verge of firing their manager. Just a few weeks ago, um, they were on a slump. I believe it was like a four-game losing streak, and they run into a week where they had to see Chelsea midweek on Wednesday, and then on Sunday they saw Liverpool.
Cool.
And since that, they have gone on to beat Chelsea, get a draw against Liverpool, get a draw against Brentford, and this past weekend, this Saturday, they beat Crystal Palace 4-1. A Palace that's been doing all right.
Mhm.
Oliver Glasner has been the talk of the town recently. People talking about he might be not re-signing at Palace because he think he the man. He can go somewhere else. But I do want to talk about Leeds because this is a team that you know between the Premier League and the Championship. Dominic Calvin Lewin over there trying to, kind of have a resurgence, kind of like what Denny Welbeck is doing at Brighton. But this Leeds team is doing all right. And I just want to ask, do you think this is enough to keep them up this year in the Premier League? I know it's still early, but just based on how they rallied around their manager, based on the fixtures that they've had and what they've been able to endure just in this past month, do you think they have enough to stay in the league this year?
Absolutely. There are too many bad teams in my opinion, and I don't think Leeds have been one of them. Leeds haven't been spectacular in any way, shape, or form. But if we're naming bad teams, they will probably be at the bottom of the list or middle of the list, whatever you want to put it. So I think there are teams that should be going, like West Ham, Wolves. You got you got to go back, and even Burnley.
Hammer.
Burnley's been shaky, but I don't think Leeds. The Premier League is a weird league, man. But based on what they're doing so far in the last few weeks, I feel like it should push them enough, at least for now. But I'm not 100% confident, but I still feel like they have enough to stay. I mean, Calvin Lewin, nobody wanted him. I mean, no, let's be for real. Nobody wanted him.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted
That's
Calvin
true.
Lewin, and Daniel Farke making a decision to
Daniel.
not go to not go with Bamford. You know, he had
Yeah.
Bamford, and this summer before the season started, he's like, "Bro, I'm sorry, you're a great player, but you're not in my plans." And hey, respect to him. He told him straight up, like, "You're not in my plans." And guess who was available? The injury-prone Calvin Lewin. Nobody wanted him, and he's starting to pick up. So I think Leeds should have a good chance to stay in the Prem.
I think so too. Man, football and sports in general is all about momentum, man. Like you get on a momentum, whether it's a player or a team, you get on a momentum, and then you just start like going up. And like you said, they were close to firing the head coach, and they went on a 4 or 5 games where they won most of their games, against tough opponents as well. And now is the time. It's now or never. Most of the top clubs lost a lot of players to the AFCON. Now is the time to grab some points. Now is the time to take advantage of that, and make sure that that you get there. I think I don't know, I guess the coach, some people just that meme where you just start becoming serious, with the joystick. I think the coach was like, "Yeah, let's get some wins here before I lose my job." It was a good thing to see. They played well against Liverpool. They played well against Chelsea. The win against Palace was really convincing. I think they can definitely fight for their spot and stay.
Yeah, definitely a convincing win because Palace have been a very stubborn team. I would say in the last
Palace,
year, Palace is a tough team to beat.
Palace is always stubborn.
Yeah,
Palace is
stubborn
stubborn
team.
every year. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely think this win actually wakes me up. Like, oh, okay, there's something here. It's not just just the big games. The big game. They're waking up for the big games, but they're actually waking up for these other games too. So
Yeah, no, I just want to pose that question because I knew it wasn't on the agenda, but I've been watching them ever since they beat us and then they drew Liverpool. I mean, that Liverpool match was 3-3. That was match of the week. And I was kind of
It was
like,
crazy.
we were talking to Omar because we were talking to him in the chat. Beating Leeds isn't for everyone, I guess. So I've kind of been watching them on these last 3-4 weeks. Ever since they played us, and I'm like, okay, so maybe there is something there. Delver, like you said, nobody wanted Calvert Lewin, and he's gone to be the real bright spot for them right now, and he has that senior leadership. I mean, this is the guy at one point got called up to the national team, so he does have caps for England. Even if he didn't play, he definitely got called up to a few camps, when he was on his runs with Everton. But this is a guy who is known to score in the Premier League. And we say it all the time. If you can score in the Prem, you'll always be able to score in the Prem. Look at what Danny Welbeck is doing at Brighton. So it's never too late to reinvent yourself. And I think Leeds is in a decent spot to grab some points, like you said, Poppy. But yeah, man, let's get into our teams real quick. Salam, you have the delightful honor of going first. I mean, honestly, Aston Villa was always going to be a tough match. Like I know we're joking because you guys didn't get the dub, or you guys didn't grab points, but down 3 players to AFCON, you always knew this was going to be a tough match going to play a Villa who is now on a 10-game win streak. Um, I guess you're just another one in there on a list right now. But in all
Salam,
honesty, your thoughts about the full match. I know you're gonna critique Ruben as well. So, what do you think about the lineup?
I'm on him.
Yeah, I mean, with the players you have down, how did you feel about the lineup going in? Would
hey,
you have done
Salam, you
anything?
see, you see what Corn just did there earlier, right? He's like, we're gonna get to the losers a little bit later. But before we talk about Mainoo, letting everybody know that it's gonna be you
Of course,
first. So
you foreshadowing. Come on, man. What you think this is?
That's
You
funny.
gotta let them know what's down the line. We just gotta tease it. But
Right.
yeah, man. First of all, like, what'd you think about the lineup with the players you had available? Would you have done anything different? And then just the match itself.
No, actually, my problem wasn't even with the lineup. I think the lineup that he put out was the strongest lineup that we had available. For me, the concerning part was when you look at the lineup. Yes, we're down the players that we're down, but you're looking at we have Lissandro, Xerxes, two keepers, Bayindir and Tom Heaton, Tyrell Malacia, Tyler Fredrickson, Bendinto, Monanto, Shea Lacey, and Jack Fletcher. The last four players that I named were all. Hold on. The last four players that I named were all youth players. So I don't expect you guys to know those guys. But in terms of the lineup, this was the best team that we could have put out. I think for me, the concerning part is now, yes, we lost this game, but it appears as if, we've lost Bruno for, I don't know, it's a hamstring. So now, I don't know, it could be the whole month of December, which is, very unfortunate for us right now. But it seems like we're shorthanded, and this is a team that plays once a week. We have to ask ourselves, how do we get here? And bro, January is around the corner. Obviously, the transfer window will open, but I said this a few weeks ago. I just think that now, with these players, the African players, they're gone, we're really going to get to know some of these guys. And honestly, I have my issues with the manager, but bro, I'm not even really looking at him like this game. I'm like, some of these guys that I'm really looking at, to really step up. I'm like, yo, you guys are not stepping up. Like Euro today, awful game. People have bad games, but week to week, what I'm finding is that it's just every week I'm just finding someone different to blame, and we have to ask ourselves, we have to step back and take a look at the bigger picture. If I told you we were tied for second place, tied for a second, I think with Arsenal in goals scored, would you believe me?
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. It's Man City and whatever they got, and we're tied with Arsenal.
But that also means your stats of goals conceded must be
Goals conceded though, we're top 5 with the peers of the guys that you were just talking about, the Wolves, the West Hams, you know what I'm saying? So we're amongst that top 5. Burnley's in that mix. There's a few other teams in that mix. So from that standpoint, we have to look at coaching. But nah, man, I think like I was watching the game today. I mean, this was a good Aston Villa team. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think that they played at their best today, but shout out to Morgan Rogers and just the season that he's had. Shout out to Villa. 10 games unbeaten now. We were talking about it before we recorded. This is the second time that Unai Emery has gone on a 10-game win streak with Aston Villa. So the first time since sometime in the 19-something. But nah, man, I think this is where we are at as a team. And I think over the next few weeks, I don't know, major change needs to happen. We have to look at the manager, but like we also have to look at the bench. How do we find ourselves in the position that we're in? How are we not prepared for the season? Why is it that I'm looking at the bench? And yes, 3 African players left, but you're telling me Xerxes, Lissandro, and 2 goalkeepers are the most senior players ready for the squad? I don't know. This whole Ineos and all these people that were successful in all these other places, you got to start asking questions, man. It doesn't really look like we're prepared for this. We play once a week. Go ahead, Mike.
Where has Omar been, man?
I don't know. Yeah.
Omar Verada is gonna change. Where has he been?
No, but that's the thing, though, bro. Like these guys were all successful. It's not just him, but
Yeah,
we have a guy named Christian Favell there. He was successful at where he was at.
yeah.
And then we have our director of football. We have these guys who have, seen success in these other places, and then they come here, and whether their arms are, they're tied up on what they can and can't do, or they're just, I don't know, not who we say we are. 'Cause I'm not even.
I got a question
So
though for you because you. Now go ahead, Corn.
no, you can go ahead. Go first.
No, I was gonna ask him because he said, that the winter, the window, transfer window is coming up soon. What are you expecting? Like,
Ooh.
are you?
Thank you. That was gonna be my question.
Man, I don't know. Well, it seems like we need. Seems like we need a midfielder. We can start there, a center midfielder. I feel like someone that's going to play next to Bruno, because Bruno doesn't remember. Bruno doesn't leave. He doesn't get subbed off. So Bruno plays in the center of the midfield. So we need a partner for him. I think that we need a center back, clearly, because I don't know, Euro
Again?
yeah, we need. I don't know what we need. Something. We need something. But in all seriousness, I think if we can bring in a center mid, and for just get Delo out of the team, man. We need someone like, if you're gonna play someone, no, seriously, if you're gonna play like this system, the person who's playing that wing back needs to be able to beat a man 1v1. Delo it's like we get the ball, we just pass it back to you, pass it back to where it came from. It's not, and all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys have been watching the games, but he's our long throw specialist. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, and he's like with the towel, and it's like, bro, at one point today, we're chasing a game. We're chasing a game. This guy was on the right side of the field. The game stopped for him to run on the other side of the field and take the throw away. And I'm like, wow, we're really Stoke City with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, bro.
That's crazy.
It's just, again, still no identity, no, like, how do we play? You get, Benjamin Sesko. I'll answer your question here in a second, Poppy. But Benjamin Sesko, one of the most highly touted strikers in Europe, doesn't just ran around today. Didn't really do anything. Why?
There was that one point after, I think he missed. I think he shot the ball, went out. You could see him talking to Bruno, and Bruno's like, "No, like I need you to do this." Yeah. Like, you can't tell what they were communicating, but you could see Sesko wasn't getting it, and Bruno had to kind of explain, bro. This is what you need to be doing.
And he's starting to drop deep into the midfield to try and at least get a touch on the ball, because he's not touching the ball. And then they're like, clearly there's a chemistry issue there. But no, I think we need a right wing back or someone who's going to be able to beat a man. Shit, someone on the left as well too. Dorgu, I like Dorgu, but honestly, bro, it's just either we have to just give him the run of games to like let him develop, or like we need to bring in someone with a little bit more experience. But
if you're top 2 in goals scored, that means the attack is not a problem, I guess, right? Or is it? I don't know.
Hey, it's in Bremo FC, man.
Nah, bro. How can you be? Let's be real. How can you be tied with Arsenal, which is who we consider, or some consider, the best team in the Premier League? How can we be tied with them on goals, right? And still be like leaking in the amount of goals that we're leaking? That's a coaching error. That's not anything else. Like, you got to be. We play 5 in the back, bro. Why are we conceding like this?
Yeah, I don't think you guys have the guys, man. The level is just not there. Some of these players are just not Manchester United level.
Okay, let's go through them. Let me.
What's Manchester United level?
Come on,
we do this. The Manchester United that we know, it ain't like that. It ain't like that.
No, I mean, I think this is fair. Let me get your opinion, just real quick. I'll ask you, Mike, just real quick. Lemens, I think, is fine. What do you think of Lemens? Lemens.
He's fine. I'll keep him there.
Euro.
Yeah, Lenny Yoro is Manchester United starting center back. Come on, man.
I don't know, bro. It's like a Gucci belt. It's like nice to have, but it's like, don't you want it?
Euro should be like coming on. He's like the third guy in terms of center back off the bench. He's still
Okay.
developing. He's still young. I like
Hayden
everything about him. Hayden Heaven, I would say similar situation. He's
Okay.
good, but they're not Manchester United starting level center backs right now. So I feel like expectations needs to be lowered a little bit.
Luke
Some
Shaw.
of the players you guys have just are not the level a team like you guys should have. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, today, look at the midfield. I mean, what was his name? Ugarte.
Yeah.
Ugarte is a
Right.
joke to me. He's a complete joke. I'm actually surprised that we were at some point linked to him. Like, he's just not good enough, even for the Prem. Maybe he could play in one of these West Ham Burnley teams, but for Manchester United, no. So I get your frustration. Your frustration should mostly be about how is this board going to put us in a position to come back, to bring us back to the Manchester United we used to be. Right now, the guys you guys have given Amorim to work with, he's not going to get the results, especially with this, these three guys going to AFCON. These are probably top 10 best players on your team. So, and then
Right.
Bruno is out now. So, bro, I don't have faith in this manager, but I would also give him the benefit of the doubt if he had better players. He just doesn't even
Still?
have good players.
Yeah, but even with what you have, I mean, Arteta showed that like I'll play a style that may not necessarily be the style that I want to play, just so that I can get from to the end of the season or wherever the end of whatever it is. This guy is like, bro. Again, we have fundamental issues, Mike. It's not even like how can you be again tied with the best one of the best teams in the Premier League in goals scored, and scoring isn't our problem. It was our problem last year, but our problem last year and this year is we concede like whatever, and every defensive mistake. It just seems like
They don't know what it means to be playing for a club like that.
I don't know,
They're just not there at the level to understand that you have to be on your game at all points when you're playing for teams like that. And I just feel like you have a bunch of guys that are just like, I mean, is Dorgu ever going to become one of the best left backs in the Prem? I don't see it. Like, you have these level guys that are just like, okay, they're serviceable. Yeah. You can throw them on, but it's like, some of these results, I get it. It's improvement from last season. But then again, I just think you guys have made some weird decisions in terms of the people you've brought in. And we're seeing it.
Last thing I just wanted to say was we have to make it like there has to be a point.
You need to buy more guys.
No, I mean like there has to be a point of the season where in January we invest and we back the manager, or like how many points do we need to drop for you guys to realize that this guy is not the right guy to be the coach? You can't not back him and then just watch what's going on and then just like expect him to turn things around.
Hey, Corn, you remember when Amorim was appointed as manager for Mainoo? He was leaving Sporting, and in the group chat, everybody was getting excited. Remember what I said, right? Big mistake, and nobody wanted to believe me, and he, started at first winning a couple, but like
I said this on here. I thought he was a little thirsty. I mean,
bro,
he left
never
the
the
Sporting
right
team. They were in Champions League ball. They were in a great.
We're going to win the league, I think.
They were in a great spot.
Yeah.
They were
for him. It was a win.
It's a big promotion, though.
It is a big promotion.
Yeah, bro. He hopscotch so quick. I was like,
hopscotch.
All right, man. That's a little.
That's understandable. I mean, we seen it with Xabi Alonso going to Real Madrid. From Leverkusen. Like these things happen with coaches.
But he saw at least Xabi Alonso saw the year out. This guy left in January.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we told him like
February, whatever it was. Yeah,
that's what we told him.
We need you now.
We did need him. We did need him at that. Well,
I just thought.
I disagree still. Like what I'm telling Corn is like when that happened.
Yeah.
when
want
that happened, I told the Manu fans in our group, I told them, you're getting excited, you're getting a lot of expectations, but it's gonna end up in disappointment because I just didn't, I just knew it wasn't going to work out. Uh and like I understand that we're talking about the players are not Manchester United level, but also maybe Manchester United level has decreased. Like maybe like the Manchester
Yeah,
United
yeah. I
renew
mean,
15 years ago doesn't exist anymore. And maybe the Man U fans just need to
that's
accept that
fair.
maybe and like,
That's fair.
you know, lower your expectations because as long as you're going to keep having high expectations, you're going to keep getting disappointed,
See,
you
no,
know.
Poppy, I disagree, bro. Because I'm not even asking for anything crazy right now. I'm not asking for
So
prime
what would
Barcelona
be
to like take it
what
back.
would be what
No,
would
no, no,
be
no,
what
no,
would
no,
be
no. I'm not asking for anything crazy. I'm not even talking about winning the league. We're not even
right.
finishing top four, bro. Like what we when you're talking to me about maybe it's not maybe maybe you're not who you think you are. Hold on. What I've seen our standards decrease. How far do you want me to go? How far?
But
How
like
far?
what I'm trying to ask is like what okay, so what would be a satisfying season for you? Like what would happen if like let's say like the season is over. What
Yeah.
would be a result that you can look at and say, okay, I'm happy with this season that Manchester United
Okay.
delivered? Like
Ruben Amorim being gone. Ruben
no,
Amorim
I'm
being
talking
gone.
about like performance and like results. Like
Oh yeah, I think our
you don't
performance will
expect
go.
you don't expect
I think our
trophies.
performance will go up once the coach leaves. So whether it be this week or it be at the end of the season, I'm telling you, once this manager leaves, we'll be in better shape. But
Yeah.
until then, you're gonna continue seeing this little.
Bro, Salam and his cycle of coaches is the funniest thing to watch because
Yeah.
it
No, I,
starts
I feel
here.
him though.
No. But see, no, I am the way that I am with him. Obviously, because I've watched what I
Bro,
watched.
you were
But
at one
last year,
point,
hold on, hold on. Last year, you guys made it so difficult for Ten Hag. How?
You're still
How?
defending
Hey,
your
How?
guy.
you were at
We sat
negative
here
hog
and
at
we
one
watched
point.
it. We watched. I never said anything because he was delivering
That was
trophies.
your boy.
He was delivering trophies, Mike. Like more than Remember, I don't know. Arteta
Mike is
this,
gaslighting
Arteta
you, bro.
that.
You know,
Like
I think no, not realistically though. Like the question Poppy asked was like, bro, looking at this squad that you have right now, there's no way you're expecting trophies. We can put that
Right.
aside. Conference League look good on y'all. But to me, Europa
no, but
That's
should
what I'm
be the
saying.
should
Like
be what you should be aiming for.
you
Europa
have to
League is
set
realistic.
expectations.
hold on. You guys
Europa
are
is
bantering
realistic.
though. You guys are bantering. Hear me out, Mike. At the beginning of the season, you said not being in Europe would be good for you guys. Why? Because
One
now you get to focus on just the one competition. This is what, remember, he came in the middle of last season. You have a full off season. This year in the summer, this past summer, there was no big international competition. There was the Club World Cup. We weren't a part of that. And then whatever the other international tournaments were. So
Yeah.
you've had all this time to implement what it is that you want to do, and here we are, and almost in the middle of December, we have no continuity. We don't know how to play with one another.
But no, let me ask you this though. Yes, you made some great signings. You brought in Sesko, you brought in Mbemo, you brought in Cunha. That did not address half of your problem.
You're talking
That's why you're scoring goals. I mean, you
Mike.
definitely did have an improvement on the offensive side of things. But I don't think the transfers you guys made this summer helped the team in any way, shape, or form. I don't. Because
Well,
everything went straight to the attack. You
I
haven't
mean, really, it
upgraded on.
worked though, because we're
Huh?
tied for a second.
Yeah, they're
Really, it
scoring.
worked.
That's what I'm
It's worked.
saying.
Yeah.
But what about
That's so you see an improvement, but improvements weren't made in midfield. I
And-
mean, you guys are constantly open. Yeah,
yeah, because
everybody walks through when you go to United. When you
because we
play
have
United.
we have Casemiro. I don't want to stay too long here. I'm
Yeah, I
just
was
saying,
gonna
like,
say,
Mhm.
yeah,
we have Casemiro who's aged, and we have Bruno Fernandes who can't stay still in the middle. He can't. You know what's funny is Lissandro actually came on and played in the midfield. I don't know if you guys watched the game. Lissandro came
Yeah,
on and stayed in the midfield.
on a couple. Yeah, yeah. True.
And he stayed in the midfield. It was him and Ugarte, and I was like, wow, here I am watching Lissandro and Ugarte in the midfield. At
So
least Ugarte stays there, and like
so
he's positionally like he knows what's required to like play in that position. I think it's bro. I think it's crazy, like the passes we give on some of these guys. But sorry, go ahead.
nah, to end it on United because I don't want to spend too long on them either. You guys stink. This is a tweet from Fabrizio Romano, and this is him quoting Amorim. So this is the quote: Kobbie Mainoo needs to fight for his job. I think that it is a bad
What?
thing. It is not a bad thing to be on the bench of Man United at 20 years old. I remember Ronaldo was on the bench, sometimes Rooney, Varane. I remember the history of Manchester United, and nobody didn't fall. So I do want to just bring that up and
That
end
is
it
a
on
wild
United
statement, bro.
I'm
He
a
didn't
real
have
man,
Casemiro in
and
front of him. Kobe Mano
bro,
had
because
Casemiro in
because
front of him.
Kobe Mainu was listed as having a knock and unavailable for today's game.
a t-shirt gate, man. But
Do
my
you,
thing
do you
was,
think there's something going on there?
he
And
said there was nothing
do we
because
see Kobbie Mainu gone in January?
Yes, bro, he has to.
he should leave.
He's bro. He still has a shot to make this World Cup roster, and he needs playing time, bro. England has a new coach. Tuchel is already starting to pick some of his guys. He needs to be a part of that mix. This is a guy who was a part of the Euro, what
Yeah,
the Euro run the last summer, and like, nah, bro. He
yeah.
play. I said this in the summer. I said preseason he was not rocking with him at all, and like that's concerning.
I hate the way he's been handling this situation because, bro, I don't rate Amorim based off of how he even handles this Mainu situation. In the last couple of years, Mainu was the bright spot that you know broke into the United team. That were like, oh, this guy, bro. I was even saying, bro, I see Seedorf. Like he's giving me like big man vibes. Like this guy's gonna run the middle for United. This guy comes in and all of a sudden this guy doesn't know how to play. Nah. I've seen this guy play. I know this guy can play. Give him some push, give him some trust, allow him to, grow up. But you're not even giving him time. And then when they ask you questions, you're giving sideways answers. The way he's handled this situation just makes me know that this coach is not going to work. But then when I also look at their team, they don't got the minerals. They don't got the guys that can do it. So
Minerals is
Man,
crazy.
they just don't.
for for Mino's own sake, I agree with Salam. He should,
He has to go. Yeah.
it's the World Cup is right around the corner. You need to play in order to make it. But yeah, the way Amorim is handling this is terrible. Like you
Yeah.
don't like the statement is wild. Like if a coach tells you publicly that you have to fight for a spot, you're cooked. That's
Yeah.
number one. And
Your job.
and 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 like the second thing is he's comparing him to players that were like really old when they were being benched, and it worked back then. Like Rooney and Ronaldo. Come on, you like Mano is young. You can't use that as a comparison.
No.
To say that that's a similar thing.
But
But yeah, I
but
think he just doesn't like him. He's not in his plans, and like I
just say
he
that, you know?
yeah.
He
And,
can't
and
come out.
him
He can't come out and say that. And I don't want to spend too long on this. I just wanted to bring up the quote because I think there is something there. And like Salam said, this is a World Cup year. You gotta play if you want to be chosen for that team. And England
Gotta
is
play.
obviously highly competitive. So
yeah.
so
Even
yeah,
that
Yeah.
comparison is weak because bro, we were watching Rooney 19 running shit out United. Stop. Like if he was getting bench, he wasn't coming off the bench. Maybe one game, two game here and there. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
not even a
Agreed.
good comparison.
But yeah, I guess it's the time of the year where we start saying free Kobbie because
Hey, bring the t-shirts out, man.
till Kobbie free till it's backwards. But moving forward to Chelsea, 2-2 draw, which was honestly, I'll let Mike speak mostly on this, but to me it was annoying because to have to wake up here in America at 7:30 in the morning to watch your team go down by 2 goals in the first 20 minutes is
Yeah.
not a fun way to start your
Oh my
Saturday.
God.
Um so yeah, the first 20 minutes were obviously just turmoil. The defense completely lost. just no idea what we were doing. But again, me and Mike have said this multiple times on this podcast. We've said it multiple times on our socials, whether that be, our individuals or through the podcast. Reece James, oh captain, my captain, saved
Mm.
us once again. And just goes to show that we need him on the pitch every week. And I'm glad that he's finally being healthy. But this match, it showed resilience. This is a Newcastle team that was coming off a big win in Europe. This is a Newcastle team that's kind of been up and down, but it's always hard to play away at Newcastle, and we escaped with a point. So, Mike, I'm not sure how you felt about the match, but
Yeah.
we escaped with a point. That's how I feel.
I don't even feel good even celebrating the result because it was a tale of two halves. Absolutely two different halves. The way we came into the game to begin the game is very disappointing. I've seen how you guys can play Liverpool. I see how you guys can play Barcelona. You can play Arsenal. Why? What was the vibe to start the game? It seemed like I don't know if you were doing nervous. I don't know what was going on. This is a big game. Wake up for the game. We're at St. James. Everybody was just like lollygagging around. The only person doing anything was Caicedo, as usual. Like he was the only one. This game was just so frustrating because yes, we came back, got the point, allowed us to securely stay top four. But my goodness, we have to wake up because it's like we can't keep starting games like that and thinking that we can come back. The only reason, Cornelius, I texted you and I'm like, yo, we're still in this, is because that's how Newcastle's been all year. Newcastle cannot hold leads. They just haven't been able to hold leads. So I'm like, I've seen them in the Champions League. I've seen them in the Premier League. I know at some point we're going to have an opening. We have to take the opportunity. And the way they came out the second half is how they should have came out in the first half. I mean, I really don't have any complaints on the second half performance. 10 out of 10 for me. This is what you should be. Yes, we say a lot. This team is young. I'm at a point where I don't even want to say that anymore because you've shown me performances against top teams in Europe and in the Premier League. So some of these excuses, I feel like I can't even make for you guys anymore. Because, like, come on. A game like Newcastle, we start the way we start. Knowing what we have ahead. Yes, you don't want to look ahead. Bro, now we got Aston Villa at home. This is a team that's won 10 in a row. They're coming to us. What are you going to do? Are we going to see a good performance or we're going to, start slow and then when we're down, now we want to fight? Even midweek when we played Cardiff. Yes, we won 3-1. It wasn't a convincing win. I don't know if you watched it. It wasn't a convincing 3-1 win against Cardiff, who are, I believe, are in the championship.
It wasn't.
And then Newcastle, you would think, oh, he didn't play a lot of guys in the midweek game, so, these guys would be fresh and ready to go. No, it wasn't. But, shout out to Reece James. That guy, we need him on the field at all times. But we also know how he gets, so we have to, protect him from injuries. Yeah. So, other guys have to step up. And I also want to take Maresca. Your tinkering, I like it when it comes to big games because I know you're going to set us up. But some of these guys have to get some consistency playing with each other. Because sometimes one sub just throws everything off. I don't know if you see that. But he would bring in like a Tosin. And then everything seems clunky and, everybody's like on the edge or something. I hate to pick on Tosin, but he's the easiest target. But it's just it's like I like the tinkering in big games because you've proven to me you can set us up. So do your thing. But some of these games, man, it's not that hard. Like, let's keep it simple. We know who needs to be in this thing for us to win. We know who needs to play. We know it's a big game. Let's go get it. Like, stop with these, like, today I'm going to play Malo Gusto. And he's like, bro, stop that. Took off Malo Gusto, brought in Enzo. We're cooking. Not even that Malo Gusto was, struggling, but he was
on a yellow card.
He was low-key struggling against Aaron. Gordon. So I don't know. I like the fact that we fought. It shows that this team can do it. But then we shouldn't be starting games like this. I mean, we've seen too many good performances for that performance in the first half to be acceptable.
Yeah, and Mike, I texted you on the side. Chelsea has like 9 games in January or something like that, like a game every 3 days, pretty much in January. And so this is the most crucial part. This is the most crucial run of our season, these next 4 or 5 weeks. So we have to capitalize on matches such as this. We didn't, like we said, we didn't know that, or we knew that walking in, we weren't just going to walk into St. James Park
Bro, when was the last
and
time we went
bully
on
them.
St. James?
It's been
It's been
like
like a couple
four
of
matches.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, bro, why are we walking into St. James thinking it's sweet? They beat City at St. James. Like they've won big games there. That's where they get their wins for real. So it's
Yeah,
like, bro, come
that's a
on.
great point. I did want to shout out just real quick Altamande though, man. Wow.
Yeah, man.
You talk about hitting the ground running, bro. He's a beast, bro. And he's German international. I feel like he doesn't even really play like a German, really, for real. Like he just
No.
is like
Yeah,
he's like
man.
so perfect for the Prem. That second goal, wow.
Bro, he should have had a third.
He really
That,
should have.
that's that first half was unbelievably shocking if you're a Chelsea fan.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Because you're
I
like, what
honestly
am I
thought he was
watching?
gonna get a third. I was like, he got 2 in 20. Nah, Fam's gonna get his hat trick.
Bro, he missed the
And this
tap
place is
in.
gonna go crazy. And
Yeah.
and honestly, thank God he didn't get that third because they would have scored 6 on us. Seriously, if he would have gotten 3 in the first half, that place would have gone nuts. And I don't know if we would have had the wherewithal to
No.
like be able to come back from 3. It would have been
Yeah.
that type of match. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Just
it's
Uh,
it's it's I mean it's I understand from a fan standpoint, to react that way. But at the same time, I mean, it's like y'all weren't playing Wolves though. Like y'all were playing Newcastle. I mean, this is
exactly.
St. James. Like it's a solid team. It's a
Yeah.
solid team. Like you said, they beat City in there. That's where they get their win. So, and you haven't won there in years. So it was never going to be sweet in the first place. You know what I mean? Like y'all knew it was going to be a difficult game, and it was a difficult game. But being able to come back, you know, is at least a good sign that the team doesn't give up easily and that they keep fighting even though they're down 2-0. Came back for the tie, and I had the feeling that if there was 10 more minutes added to the game, they would have scored a third goal. That's the feeling I had. And so
Mhm.
I
Sure.
think I don't know. I'd say it's a decent point.
Yeah.
Obviously it's disappointing if you're a Chelsea fan, but it
Hmm.
wasn't going to be an easy game in the first place. So I think, decent point.
And I
Yeah.
agree, but
Look
this
how it
is
went with one.
I agree, but this is also where I have to put my foot down as a Chelsea fan and kind of just hold us to a higher standard because these are games that we can win. I was texting Mike and saying like we can get this third, we should get this third, and the
Hmm.
match was open.
Yeah.
Honestly, we Harvey Barnes had a chance where he should have scored. He had
Phew.
a shot in his box with the left foot, and it went wide by maybe a foot or less. It was bad. It was very open in the last 20 minutes of that match. So for me, I look at matches like those and want to go get a smash and grab. And Chelsea, when we were, 2015, 2017, when we had Hazard, when we had certain players that would go win games, we had that. But, again, our best player, Cole Palmer, was taken off at the 60-minute mark because he is coming off injury. He isn't playing his best. He's not in the best run right now. He has to get back
Yeah.
into his
Yeah,
tip
we've seen
elite shape.
we've seen
So
better.
we are missing pieces, but I still feel that we have enough to go take these games. And the fact that we
Hmm.
aren't taking these games lets me know that we're not ready for a title challenge yet. Like I look at this Villa team and I'm like, okay, everyone's talking about is this Villa team real? It's like, bro, they just won 10 matches in a row. No matter what who they were playing over that 10 match stretch, they didn't drop points. That's 30 out of 30. You know what I'm talking about? So
Bro,
that's
it's
a
the
feat in
fight.
itself. That's a
Yeah.
huge deal for them. And
But
now they're in the third place, and they're actually looking at a team that even if they go down, they can come back and win matches. And for me, that's where I want Chelsea to be, because I'm looking at the only three teams above me are the 1, 2, and 3 in the league.
Yeah.
So if we want to keep top four, if we want to continue to push and be solidified as a top four club, don't just do it one year. You have to do it 2 years in a row for Chelsea to go back to being okay. This team is now in top four consecutively. That's where I want to be, Poppy. Like, this isn't, oh, Chelsea's just around.
Back
No,
where
no,
we
no, no. After
belong,
the
man.
last year, and
Back
that's
where
what
we
Mike said.
belong.
Mike, I don't call these kids young anymore, because we
I
do have
can't.
young kids that are new on our team. That is a fact. We do have new additions, but the core of our team has been with Chelsea for 2 years now, at least. The core of our team has
Even if
won
you're
2 trophies now, has been in finals, has lost finals. So for me, I like this team has gone through a lot in three windows, 4 windows.
Corn,
But the core of our team,
You beat Barcelona like convincingly just 3 weeks ago, though.
and, and, and,
that's what I'm
and but
saying. Yeah.
my point is, Poppy, it's good to beat the top teams, but you need the consistency, bro. Like, this is
Yeah.
the consistency I want to see. Good
I
teams continue to win, even when they dropped two. We always say it: 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football. We came back, we drew the match with a very open game that was there for the taking, and we didn't take it. So that's where I'm at. I know we're missing our best player, and we have players that are injured, and this, that, and the third, but we need to go take some of
Bro,
these games. And
that's the thing.
until we're there, like, that's where I know, like, for me, I don't think Chelsea this year is ready to go fight for it. Like, I'll say, like, we won't win the league this year. This isn't a year where we can
Of
go
course
win the
not.
league, because but saying of
That's
course
right.
not, is crazy when Liverpool is way lower than us, when Manchester United is way lower than when it's higher than you. But my point is, Chelsea now has gotten to the point where I want to see us consistently be a top four team, and that's the bar. But I want to win these games. At the end of the day, I want to go win these games, because those
Yeah.
are wins that you can look at the end of the year and say, this is why we are building to where to being top four, whatever, blase, winning this, winning that. These are the wins that, for me as a fan, I look at
Yeah,
the
no,
end of
for
the season.
sure.
I'll look at this
I
draw and I'll say, if this was a win, maybe we end up here, So for me, this was a good showing, sure, but I don't, like Mike said at the beginning, I
I
don't
agree.
love
I
this stuff.
agree with you, but like if it's like on a fan standpoint, you're totally right. But I would feel like that's the type of feeling you should have more on games you are supposed to win. Like you are definitely and clearly the favorite. You can't mess around and lose these games. But I feel like in the Premier League, for a team like Chelsea, games against Arsenal, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool, City, these games will always be difficult,
Not
and
easy.
it can always go either way. It can always go either way. You can win, you can lose, it can be a draw. Remember last week you asked me about Liverpool and Tottenham, and I said exactly what I expected to happen in Liverpool Tottenham is what happened with Chelsea and Newcastle. I
Yeah,
said
it's a great
I
segue. Let's
expect
talk about Liverpool. Yeah, let's get into that
yeah.
Liverpool match.
Yeah, I said it's gonna be a 2-2 draw for Liverpool and Tottenham because I know some games in the AFCON, I mean in the Premier League are just going to be difficult to win because these solid teams they know each other so well. It can always go either way. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a team that has a couple injuries and such, a couple players missing. So, you know, the expectation I had for that game is what happened with Chelsea. And I think, it's this you're not gonna win all your games, obviously. There will be games that you're gonna lose. There will be games that, it's gonna be a point. Um, I would say that it's a good point considering that, it was a save from going to lose to 2-0 and then ended up having a 2-2 draw. But yeah, I'm as a Chelsea fan, I can totally understand that you view it differently. Regarding Liverpool, uh I wasn't expecting a win, honestly. So this was a surprising win for me. I think
Really? Why not?
because Tottenham Liverpool is always tricky, and most importantly because I just don't know what to expect anymore with this team for Liverpool this year.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like like
It's
one
tough
day we
actually.
lose and then the next day we win and then we lose and then we win. It's like I don't get it. Like it to me like we're in December and I still don't understand what our problem is because
Mm.
how do you win the league last year and from last year to this year you got better, like you literally got better, and now you're struggling. Like I just don't like I don't understand it. This is mind blowing to me.
I'm so
Like
glad you said that because I've said it on the pod. I told the guys, to be honest, bro, apart from Jota, I really can't put my finger on what their problem
I,
is. I
I
just
still
can't.
can't. I just can't. Like to this day, I still can't sit down and say, okay, this is Liverpool's problem this year.
They
Like I
missed
don't know
track.
what the problem is. Like we just win and lose, and like and it happens. If it was just the Prem, I would get, but like it happens in the Champions League
Everywhere,
as
yeah.
well.
Hmm.
It's everywhere. So because I don't know what to expect anymore, I thought, then again, it's Tottenham. It's not City or whatever. So
They don't even win
I
at home.
yeah, I knew they weren't going to beat us, but I wasn't confident that we would beat them. So I had it, 2-2, but we ended up winning 2-1. It was a good win, nice 3 points. We move forward, and yeah, again, it's only December. The season can always be turned around, and that's for all of our clubs. Man U, Chelsea, Liverpool. we're in
You
we're
smiled
in
when you said
December.
Man U.
we're in December, so like the season
There's a
can
lot
always
of
be turned
season
around.
left, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of football to be played. So, yeah.
Did Isak get injured?
He
Yeah.
did. He did.
I
It
want to
looked
talk
really
about
bad.
Isak being hurt and then, Ekatike. Now this is his spot for sure.
Yep.
Um,
As it should been, as it should have been this whole time.
but this is tough for Isak. I don't
As it
wish
should have
injury
been.
on
Yeah,
any player.
bro. The guy hit the ground running, and then you guys want to play mind games. It's like, come on,
No, but
man.
when you say as it should have been, it's like even before he hit the ground running, it should have been his spot. Like I feel like
No, I think after he got there
oh, okay.
and the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
few games, the way he was playing,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have messed with it at all. I would have just let him have the run, keep going.
Isak wasn't
Yeah,
even at
that I agree.
Liverpool. He moved there what, 4 matches in the
Late, yeah.
season, three
Hmm.
matches in the
Yeah.
season, whatever
Yeah,
that was.
true.
So, Ekatike
True.
was the starter, and like Mike said, he hit the ground and looked great from the first match. And so, when the Isak move happened, it was we always knew it was going to
We
be
all knew,
contentious a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah, we always knew it was
yeah.
going to be a
Big
little bit
money,
tough.
man. Like
And they
Yeah,
tried
so
to
like
make
you
it
don't you
work,
don't
but it wasn't
Mm.
working. Like at the end of
you
the
don't
day,
buy
it
a
really
player like
wasn't working.
Isak.
And
You don't
not
buy a
playing.
player like
Yeah.
Isak and just bench him. Yeah, like
He's the most
Yeah,
especially
expensive player
given
ever. Ever.
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But ever,
That's
ever?
Especially given what he's been doing with his former club. He's a really really good striker. But yeah, I guess I on that Isak Iketike part, I just think it's a coaching problem. I just think that the coach doesn't know how to mesh them well. But they're both capable players, and I think if you find the right formula for them to play together at the same time, it could be amazing. But we just haven't
yeah.
found that formula yet.
I agree. I agree. That's a very good point because
Yeah,
I always say, hey, look back at Drogba and Anelka. Everybody thought it wasn't
good
going to
point.
work.
True, good point.
Mourinho found a way to make it work. So
He did.
the reason, because I've seen that, you can't tell me that, oh, you can't play two striker. Oh, it's like I've seen it happen. You just got to find the way to make them mesh, and I just think he hasn't done that.
I mean, yeah, I've always said Ekitike could play on the wing if he needed to, but I feel bad for Isak, man. I felt like he actually, I mean, yeah, he had just scored from like that moment, the moment that he got
Hmm.
hurt. But
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that moment really could have served as like a kind of his kick on to like the season, really. And it's
yeah.
unfortunate now that he's hurt.
Do
Um,
we know how long he's out?
They said they think
nah,
it's a
bro.
break. They think he broke his leg and could be a few
Wow.
months,
Oh,
but they don't
sorry.
know if it's a fracture or if it's a
Jeez.
full break. They're not. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I read today before we
That's a
came in here.
season changer.
Yeah.
That can change their season.
yeah, bro. Van der Ven like went in for the tackle and like as he should have, but his leg, Isak's leg, got stuck in
He
between.
got tangled. Yeah.
Yeah, in between like his leg and his challenge. So when he
Those
was going,
injuries are
yeah,
Because he shot with the left and it got tangled on the slide coming in that way.
Ah,
Yeah.
he's going this way and his leg is going that way. And it's just
you
like,
hate
Yeah.
to see it, man. You hate to see it because those
Wow.
type of injuries, even when you come back, you're not fully
the
yourself.
same. Yeah,
Like it's
that's a big injury if it's actually broken.
but no, yeah. On the flip side, though, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, we get good news with him. But on the flip side, man, Ekitike firmly has established himself as the second best striker, I guess, in the Premier League. If Erling Haaland wasn't in the league,
and
he would definitely
and
be
now
the best.
now my thing with him is he like how is he going to perform? Because it's as a striker, when you have competition and you have to fight for your spot every game, the way you perform compared to knowing that now you're safe is different. Some players, when they know they're safe, they play even better. Some players, when they know they're safe, they kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit, and I mean the pedal a little bit, and it's like I don't know with him what's going to happen, but he's definitely safe now for the rest of the season. It's his spot. He's going to be playing every game, and I really hope that it gives him some sort of relief, and that he keeps pushing because we definitely need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it right there. Before we close out the episode, I know G's not here, but I do want to talk about Arsenal to end out our team
Sneaky
segment.
little Arsenal. Ah.
Because in their last 3 Premier League matches, just this past weekend they got a sneaky penalty to get a 1-0 win over Everton away. They beat Wolves in what should have been thrilling, but a very thrilling 2-1 win over Wolves after Wolves equalized in the 90th minute, and then Arsenal scores in like the 93rd or 94th. And then their match before that was a 2-1 loss against Aston Villa away, in part of Aston Villa's 10-game win streak. So I do want to talk about Arsenal just to close out because they're only sitting 2 points above Manchester City, who's in form right now. They're only sitting 3 points against Villa, who we talked about this whole episode, clearly in form right now. Should Arsenal fans start to panic? I wouldn't say panic, but they probably knew they weren't going to sit on top of the table all year. But I feel like Arsenal fans have had this delusion of they've been so good and they've been first place all this time that they don't think they can drop. And so if, none of us are Arsenal fans, so we can speak normally, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to sugarcoat it for anybody. Do you think that Arsenal fans should start to look at Arteta like, look, man, we see, they in the next 3 matches, they see Aston Villa again. They have some big matches coming up. They play Carabao. They're playing 3 games in the next like 5 or 6 days as well, 7 days, whatever it is, until December 30th. So do Arsenal fans have, a need to start worrying a little bit?
It
I mean,
depends
obviously-
on it.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, Sarah. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it depends. Like, you have to acknowledge City as like their resurgence and like their presence, definitely. But I think that they are where they need to be. I don't think that they should be worried at all because, quite frankly, you were in this position a few years ago where you led the league and for what 94% of the time, and now you have a better team.
Hey,
So, what? No, I'm not. You're laughing. I'm not saying that to be funny. What I'm saying is you have a better team than that team was, and I think that like you assembled these guys because you were in this position, and ultimately the inexperience is what what cost you. Bro, they are where they need to be, and quite frankly, they still got to beat these other big teams. They still got to still see City. They still got to still see you guys, Liverpool.
Hey.
Nah, bro. I think that they're
so,
fine.
I agree with your point, but I want to say this to Arsenal fans: we have you guys right where we want you. we have you right where we want you. You look pretty in December. You always do. We have you right where we want you.
That's
So
what I was gonna
for
say.
me, I know what it is, man. As long as they have this manager, the imposter they call Ateta, because they told me Unai Emery wasn't it.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans right now will tell you, hey, what's his name? Ateta is better than Unai Emery. Arsenal fans will look you dead in the eyes right now and tell you that Arteta is a better manager. But
Yeah.
anyways, as long as they have Arteta, I don't believe it. I've seen it for 3 years. You didn't get it done. This has been your best team. This is your best team. So my expectations for you to win is even higher. I've said it from the beginning. I wanted Chelsea to win the league, but I said if Chelsea don't win the league, I have a very strong feeling Arsenal does. But I've seen this team. They have some weak points. I mean, Gyökeres is not hitting like I thought he was gonna hit. I feel like this team needs
No,
a guy that is gonna be consistent enough, at least a striker that will give them goals. Gyökeres is not doing it, so I'm a little comfortable that to say that cities can sneak them, and they have a tough schedule coming up. I mean, right now they're not running away with anything. So
no, but they have more depth in City though. No, that's the only thing that I would say. This is the first time ever I would probably say Arsenal have more depth in City, and I
they,
and I
they
don't.
have some guys coming back also from injury. So
Yeah,
I know it's deep, but
with Gyökeres though, bro, I don't even think that they like him, bro. I think Jesus better suits them than Gyökeres does. Honestly, I think he just
that's why they bought a striker
he's in
because
the way.
Jesus go
We'll talk
missing.
about. You want to talk about signings not really fitting, like whatever.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm,
different
I'm, that's
conversation.
that's one
But
sign that I'm really surprised about. I thought he would do great in the Premier League, but I
I
didn't want
did.
him to go to Arsenal because I just didn't feel like it would have meshed well. And to my point, it's happening that way. But regarding Arsenal fan, I mean, like I was gonna say it depends on like what the expectations really are. I mean, how many
Oh.
more times can you get disappointed? Like how many times have Arsenal? How many times have Arsenal grabbed the title and in the last minute they drop it and it's just gone like that? This happens so many times, man.
No, they ain't
So
never grab it.
no,
They ain't
I'm
never
saying
grab
like
it.
you
Take pictures with it.
Maybe they saw it in the case and they was like taking pictures of it. They ain't never grab it. I can tell you that.
Nah,
yeah, like
'Cause if
I'm
you
I'm, I'm
grab
saying
it, you ain't letting that
pause.
go.
because like the thing is like I mean imagine like seriously like every time it's the same thing like you tell your like all like every time it's like okay this season is it and then it
Yeah.
just crumbles like every season every single time and I feel like right now it's definitely best for them to be creeping up rather than being up and having to watch their back because
hmm
watching your back is not really something that suits them
This
well
team has. I agree. That's a very good
yeah
point.
yeah,
no,
it's
that's
it's
why it's,
best.
it's yeah better for them to be
Yeah,
first.
right. Like it's best for you to like just creep up, and like it's like that basketball game where you're like down, 5, 6 points, but you're still staying there, and then
hmm
in the clutch you just come up and you just win. It's best for them to be in that position rather than being up there and just. But the thing is, City is vulnerable. City can be
Yeah.
beaten, and like I want to say this is now or never for them, but I've been saying that for so many years and it was never now. So I don't know, man. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely,
Arsenal is definitely in a unique position because I can think back. I'm looking back, and there hasn't been a lot of teams that have been there at least 3 to 4 years in a row. It just doesn't
yeah.
happen. So they're in a very unique position. Maybe this is really the year. But like you said, for a team like Arsenal, it would be better to be chasing than being the one
Yeah,
everybody is chasing. They don't have
right.
any guys on the team that I can look to and be like, oh, this guy's leadership. He's been there, done that. So this guy
And
can rally. They don't have that. So
and
it's
that's the
like,
difference between them and City, because City doesn't have the
exactly,
depth that they have, but City have players that can just turn things around
exactly,
instantly,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
hmm
yeah, they don't have that.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. I think Arsenal fans should be a little cautious of just what's behind because They can't afford to start dropping points.
But I would also say they have shown signs of what championship teams should be. They take care of business, and they have been this year. So I'll give you that, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, great place to end it. Great place to end it, man. Before we get into
How
who
we
we
doing
play
lock?
next, I was just about
Ooh,
to look it up. My
let me
locks, my,
see.
my lock is
I
in
like
the
it.
Fulham.
Shout out to you early. Early. Yeah, early. Yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mine is in the tomorrow match. I got both teams scoring on Fulham.
Okay. Mike, what was your lock?
Damn, Crystal Palace. I had him on Leeds, but Leeds had a different Leeds had different plans. It's supposed to be Crystal Palace money line, but it didn't hit, so
Yeah,
we
Gabriel
move.
had both teams to score in the Liverpool versus
They
Tottenham
did.
match, so that hit.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 hit
Nice.
so far. Mine is both teams to score in the Fulham match tomorrow versus Nottingham Forest. Yeah, man. Good episode, boys. Good episode, boys. Before we do predictions, any shout outs?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, man. Go
Go ahead.
first. Chelsea women's team, man. Caught Liverpool's women's team around the corner and beat them like they still some. We gave them 9 today, man. I was
9-1. 9-1.
crazy game, bro. The first two
Wow.
minutes, it was like 2-0. Yeah, man. This Chelsea team, man. My only one thing I want this season
Champions League.
is that quadruple, man, and the Champions League. That's the only one we're still missing.
We
So
need that.
that's
We need that.
that's all I
Bro, it
want.
was,
Shout out to
bro,
them.
just watch the highlight.
Watch the
9.
highlights. It was
9-1.
9-1.
Bro,
Yeah.
it was bad. Sam Kerr had
Yeah.
2, one other
Bro, it's
player had a
crazy.
hat trick. Yeah.
Oh my god. I'll go next. My shout out's gonna go to Brahim Díaz, Moroccan midfielder. I thought he had a really good first game versus Comoros. I was really happy to see like the fans really seem to embrace him too. He's rocking the number 10. Could have definitely played for Spain. I mean, he was playing for them for their on their youth teams, but no, I really respect his decision. Really like the decision, obviously, of him picking Morocco instead of playing for Spain. Typically a lot of these African guys come back home after they don't get their opportunity elsewhere, whether it be in Europe or whatever else opportunities. So shout out to him.
Yeah, my shout out is going to go to Asan Diao, for different reasons. We didn't get to talk about it, but this is a 20-year-old Senegalese player that was going to have his first AFCON, and he plays for Como in Italy, and the head coach, Fabregas, basically, you know, didn't want him to go for the AFCON, and he publicly said it. He said that he didn't want him to go. You know, the kid was selected. Fabregas had a conversation with the head coach of Senegal. You
Damn.
know, asked
Yeah.
him, like, how can we make sure that he doesn't go? And he's like, well, we need him here. And he's like, you know, okay, so the thing is, the conversation didn't go well, but the player hasn't played. He only played 3 games in the last 8 months. So guess what? He's already injured right now. He's uncertain.
Mhm.
But since they want to call him for the AFCON, I'm gonna play him a couple of days before the AFCON, knowing he's injured. And he
Yeah.
played him, and the kid got injured for real, and now forfeit. He can't play anymore. He has to be replaced. He joined the Senegal team, but he has to go back. He just left the team today because he's not going to be able to make it for the competition, and he has to be replaced. And to me, it's a really, really, really crazy situation because this is a 20-year-old kid whose dream is to play for the AFCON, and you don't need him. If he played only 3 games in the last 8 months, then that means you already know that you don't even use him that much, right? And you have an opportunity to let him go. You know he's injured, and you played him on purpose, and you know it was a risk, and you took it still. Why? Because you wanted, to do some sort of, I don't know, some to prove some sort of point or whatever,
Yeah.
to the Senegal head coach. And now, in the end, the kid is the one who loses the most because
Yep.
like it's a dream for anybody to play for their national team at the AFCON. He was going to do that and he didn't get to do it, and now it was really really terribly handled. And I think that you know I applaud him though for trying his best to make it. He joined the team. The medical team did some checkups on him, but ended up confirming that he was unable to play. And for a 20-year-old kid, he didn't take it that bad. And I can see that he's really strong mentally, and that I wish him nothing but the best, and I hope that he gets healthy soon, and I hope that he makes it to the World Cup. But apart from that, it's really sad to see such a behavior from a
Yeah.
club coach to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. When we're talking about AFCON, I was actually thinking about to bring it up, but I completely forgot. That I just read that like 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Crazy
but
saga. I did not even know that was
yeah,
happening until like 2 days ago. But Fabregas
yeah,
has been my guy, but I'm actually
me too.
disappointed in how that was handled.
As a Barca fan, I love Fabregas, and now
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah, enemy number one. Yeah.
now he's like out,
Yeah.
But it's crazy to see all these clubs, uh, you know, crying so much and being so bothered about
Exactly.
AFCON players going to the AFCON. This wasn't happening years before. AFCON was
No.
always mid-season. I grew up watching AFCON January all the time. This
Hmm.
was never an issue for clubs. Why is it an issue for clubs now? Because now we have a lot of African players who play for these big clubs, and it wasn't the case before. Back then, it was
True.
just a couple of players that were playing in these clubs, but now when AFCON comes, like basically these clubs lose 30% or 40% of their good players because they're all African. So now it's a
Yeah.
concern for them. But the way it's handled is just terrible
Yeah.
because as a head coach who used to be a player, you should understand what it means to play for
Hmm.
your country in competitions like that. So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is, man.
Yeah. That's the part that's is most disappointing because you were just a player yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sad, sad, sad. But yeah, shout out to him. Hope he gets well soon. And yeah.
Yeah, and I'll end it. My shout outs. I got two today. My first one is Jamie Vardy. He was named Serie A Player of the Month in November. Just came out this past week. So shout out Jamie Vardy, man. He
Still
no
doing it.
longer in the Prem, but this guy, it seems when they want to retire, they go over to Italy and start doing
Hey,
bits.
man.
De Bruyne over there on
Extending his
that,
career.
you know. So shout out Jamie Vardy. And then my second one is Ireland. So Ireland now has a third division that is going to go. It's essentially going to. It seems like it's going to be a semi-pro type league. So the historic new third tier division of Irish football will be the top tier of grassroots football and create a direct pathway between the grassroots game and the League of Ireland for the first time. Exciting new era. So
Mm.
15 founding clubs. Ireland now has a third division that kind of has a
Wow.
pathway. Sounds like it'll be something that's super, super dope for the country of Ireland. We just saw them in this past World Cup qualifiers, and then they, not got qualified for the last stage of the knockout round. So, maybe Ireland can make a run, hopefully, and get in the World Cup. And I think that'll do huge things for the federation. But it's good to see, those smaller, Scotland, Ireland, they start
Wales
to
and all
get
them.
Wales. It's
Yeah.
nice to see the rest of the UK actually, develop their own players. Back in the day, I feel like you needed to go to England in order to make a name for yourself, and I feel like now a
Hmm.
lot more, players just feel the need to play for their home country. You see what it means to a lot of these players. So super big for Irish football. Hopefully we start to see more big names come out of Ireland.
their World Cup qualification was beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy run,
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy,
It was
crazy
beautiful.
run. We
Yeah.
talked about it on here a little bit.
Yeah. We talked about it on our Patreon, one of our Patreon episodes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So predictions. I'll start. We see Big Boss Unai Emery in Newcastle next week.
Hey, shit ain't sweet at the bridge. You know how that
Uh,
goes.
uh,
The streak ends at the bridge.
I'll let
Cut
you know.
this, clip it up, put it in the IGs and the tiki takis, the whatever they call them.
yeah.
Cut it up. Shit ain't sweet at the bridge.
Aston Villa
All
3 points.
right.
There you go.
So what you say? 3 points? No.
Aston Villa 3 points.
Come and donate your 3 points.
Yeah,
That would be a nice donation for us for the Christmas season. Bring your 3 points. We'll say good evening, and everybody will go on their
Yeah.
way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go next. We have Newcastle.
Yeah, talk about it.
We're just exchanging opponents here.
He couldn't even say it.
Yeah, we got Newcastle at home. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is gonna be a tough game for us. I don't see how we win at all, especially with no Bruno. He's not gonna put Kobbie Mainoo in. We may see Lusandro at the 6. So shout out to United, man.
What's up with the hair now? What's up with the hair?
What you mean?
Alessandro, what's up? Now he has. Now he.
I don't. Yeah, I
I'm
don't
like,
like that.
is this the butcher? This is your boy?
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this. I like when he was,
Nah.
first year Lissandro. This, I don't know.
He's in his soft era. He's in his soft era. He's in his
Ever
soft
since he won the World Cup.
Mm.
Probably
What is
who
that
does
next?
Liverpool see?
I don't even know, bro. I didn't even.
I don't
I
think
didn't
they
even
know
check.
either.
No,
To be
no.
honest with you, they don't know either. man.
I don't even know. I've been, AFCON focused this whole week, honestly.
You guys see Wolves at home. Any predictions?
Wolves, oh, okay.
Play the kids.
Oh my God, bro! Imagine we're the first team to lose to the Wolves, bro.
Oh, that would be so
Yeah.
great.
To Wolves?
Bro, at this
Oh,
point, any
bro.
team that plays them just don't want to be the first team to give them their first win.
Gabe believes Wolves are literally going to go winless the whole season.
Bro,
And
he's 1 week away from being right.
this is
Wait, he said the year, right? The calendar year?
He said
Yeah,
calendar
the
Yeah,
whole-
year.
the calendar year.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
2025. They don't get a
oh,
win. Yeah.
I can
Well-
see. I can see them beating y'all.
nah,
So stop.
Liverpool wins. Yeah, easy 3 points.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I was gonna shout someone else out. It just came to me, but I just lost it. Damn.
Oh yeah, same here. Shout out Habib Diarra, from Sunderland. He was also in certain like he wasn't really healthy for the AFCON. He was supposed to join Senegal. He joined Senegal. He played today, I think, or was it today that Sunderland played, or yesterday? I think it was today, right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Saturday.
Yeah,
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 United
yeah.
was the
They
only
played-
game today.
Yeah, they played yesterday, and thank God, no injuries. So he's going to join the Senegal team. So yeah, shout out to him and good best of luck.
Oh yeah, I got it. My last shout out was gonna go to actually Wilfred Zaha because he got called up to go play for Ivory Coast. I saw him in their traditional clothes on the touchdown. I thought it was dope though. I was like, man,
Yeah.
like,
mhm.
that you got called back up. You're in the Knicks now. After the year that he had with Charlotte, so I was happy to see that, man. He's definitely one of the OGs on the team now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Final run. You think that's it? This is the last.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. They got a team, Ivory Coast.
Yeah, they didn't take Adingra though. I was disappointed. I felt like he had a good AFCON last time.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
he
Yeah.
was. He was a dog, but hey, I'm mad.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, good episode, Poppy. Appreciate you coming on, bro. Always
man.
Always.
a good time, man.
Pleasure's mine.
Good episode,
Mhm.
guys. Shout out to Gabriel and the Cleveland Crunch. And good
Sir.
luck to you guys in your future endeavors. And Merry Christmas this week. If you for those
Mhm.
that celebrate Christmas.
Merry
And Mike,
Christmas.
happy early birthday, Mike.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Happy
Happy early
happy
birthday, my boy.
big birthday,
Yes,
birthday.
sir.